have focus, have a clear-cut goal of what you want to do in life. If you want to be a DJ, have a focus. Know what is required and start saving towards that focus. One man asked his 5-year-old boy, would you like to, the boy who asked the father, I would like to climb Mount Kenya. As he was seeing some people climbing. And the father looked at the boy and wondered what he could tell the boy. As a parent, what would you tell that boy who says he wants to go and climb Mount Kenya? Yes? He told him, yes, you can. Like the people you are seeing on TV doing it, you can. As long as every step that you take heads towards Mount Kenya. The next question is, when will I get to the top of the mountain? The father said, I may not tell you when, but as long as every step you take heads toward the top of the mountain, I can tell you that one day you'll get there. As long as you have that focus and save. The 20 bob you are having, no, I'm saving to become a DJ. The reason why I'm using that DJ is to tell you it's not only the white-collar jobs that can help you to succeed in life. You can go to all other areas and you can succeed as long as you have focus. The reason why I blend with these youths so well of Kapie is because I have been there. Where they are, and some I have been there even lower. Because I come from a very humble background, and my parents could not afford education beyond primary school. And I had a choice, either to get married, which is the only option. Again, I add to the advice of our friend here, that if you get to getting married is not bad, it's a good thing. But if you are going to it because it is the only option, then you are very wrong. So it was not the option at that moment, but I knew my parents, they could not afford. They did the best, and they told me at class 8, now you know how to write your name and to read. We have done our best. But I had a focus. I struggled, did all the menial jobs, worked in people's farms, and I was able to go to secondary school. And life is not straight as things go. I worked very hard, but I didn't achieve the grade that could take me to university because of mathematics. And I had again the option to go down again now, say, at least I'm 18, now I can get married. But no, I had a focus. I have worked as a house girl in Buruburu, and that's how I got money to take me to college. I did my diploma in banking, and now the rest is history. I've gone up to the master's level. And that is how the focus can take you. I always tell them, have a focus. You may not achieve what you want in 2 days. You may not be Bill Gates in 3 days, but for sure, if you want to be Bill Gates, you can become the Bill Gates of tomorrow. But as long as you take every step at a time. I've been with CAP since 2012. At Postbank, we offer savings education to CAP. And the reason why we offer savings education is because of one thing people think. I'll ask you a question. People think that you can only save when you get income minus expenses. That's when you save. Who can say that they have enough money to cater for all the expenses and they are left with savings? We teach the youth that you have to save fast. From what you earn, get savings fast, and then what you are left with is what you spend. Because you'll never save if you say you'll spend fast and then save. Empowering the youth
in Kenya, and indeed the continent, is not just the right thing to do, it is a smart thing to do. That I say from a government position, because we in government hold very highly, in a very special position, the need to empower our young men and women with skills, vocational, expertise, life skills, but also entrepreneurial skills. So I do want at the very onset to extend my very warm appreciation for whoever has made today the successful day that it has been as you mark the end of the first phase of this very, very interesting program. Also, as we mark the next wave of a continuation of the same program. I'm especially pleased to be here today with you for two reasons. One, in joining government, and particularly my ministry, in training and empowering our young men and women. More importantly, also having found fit to come together to share and disseminate and share the lessons that you have picked in the 5 years you have been. But more importantly, also finding it fit to begin a journey that genuinely brings in government into implementation or expansion of this very critical program. I want to believe that the deliberations that you've had in the last 2 days have been useful to you as the employers, but also to the young men and women who are looking to join the job market. And it must be quite rewarding and fulfilling from the statistics I've heard from Dr. here. At 76% of everybody having gone through the program, having found a place where they can draw their livelihood from, but also support the families and communities where they come from. Let me say again, anybody in the space of empowering our young men and women is helping us not only do what the ministry, my ministry, is responsible or has been tasked to do, but what government has also put as a priority. And this priority has been expressed from the highest office of the land through His Excellency the President, whose passion to get the youth empowered is unmatched. And only because he realizes progressing this country, both social, political, and economic terms, will require for us to bring in the young men and women at the center of everything, through skills acquisition, through decision-making participation, or through being developed and encouraged to move towards entrepreneurship. So for you here today, you are not just a friend of the young people, but you're a friend of the government of Kenya. But more importantly, you are a friend of development. And therefore, I think you need an applause. Let me echo again perhaps what you may have gone through yesterday, that for any policymaker in Africa today, the biggest challenge, the biggest headache, is turning the existing unemployment into opportunities for our young people, with upwards of 200 million young people who are not employed, who cannot therefore lead decent lives and contribute to meaningful economic development in this great continent. The same is true of Kenya, and that is why empowering the youth is at the center of our discussions as government. The statistics you have gone through, so I choose not to go there again, but I also want to encourage us that what looks like a challenge because of these huge numbers of our young people that are not employed can effectively, through concerted effort, smart planning, and also inclusive decision-making be turned into an opportunity. And that is what I believe in. At the deepest of my heart, I do believe what seems to be a problem, and I've read books where the youth unemployment in Kenya and in the continent has been defined as a ticking time bomb. I want to believe, ladies and gentlemen, that this can be turned to our advantage. And with employers and the private sector leading from the front now, I'm convinced even more. Allow me to say that whereas, again, the issue of where we are in terms of the population of the young people moving forward into the next 3 decades, we'll have more people in the working age that are young than a non-working age, and it's at that point that we'll be poised to harness the demographic dividend. But we must be smart how we approach that, because harnessing this dividend is going to hinge not only on the commitment by all stakeholders, government, private, politicians, and everyone you can name, to create sufficient opportunities to get this rising number of new entrants into the job market, but also to ensure that these young people are prepared to step into the jobs that will be created. Efforts must therefore not only focus on creating sufficient jobs, which is one side of the equation, but also in equipping them with the appropriate skills and inculcating values that are not just positive, but also getting them into a culture of saving and living healthy lives. This, being a unique program, comes along with the private sector. And therefore, it is not an issue of addressing the supply side while the demand side has not been addressed. When you bring the supply side and the demand side together, then I think the balance is attained faster, with less effort, less energy, and everybody comes out a winner. And therefore, I'm very pleased, again, because of the uniqueness of this model and the way it has been structured. Going forward, ladies and gentlemen, and perhaps I speak to the young men and women in this room, we need to continuously and at every opportunity demystify the workplace for our youth and build their self-confidence so that they begin viewing themselves as employees, not necessarily as employees, but employers and entrepreneurs at the very young age. A privilege, again, having walked around there, seeing the kind of skill set and the kind of energy that is around the young people in terms of moving forward to be able to become entrepreneurs starting from a very young age. From where I sit in the ministry, there are programs that can benefit these young men and women, and I think the reason we need to structure our partnership with this program a little bit better is so that exit from one side, you enter the other side, and you are able to then seamlessly move forward and take advantage of the program that the government has put together through affirmative funds. That is the Youth Fund, the Women Fund, the Weather Fund, but also taking advantage as business people transacting with your government.
My business name is called Afifao Liquid Detergent. Actually, the name Afifao comes from the first 3 letters of my sister's name and the first 3 letters of my name. My address is, as you can see, my names have said I'm aged 20. General description, my business is a sole proprietorship business. I deal with liquid soap detergent, preparing, packing, and supplying. My business is located at Aga Khan. I sell to pedestrians and also supply to schools, churches, and the community at large. I use word of mouth as a form of marketing. Social media, I have a Facebook page, I have a WhatsApp group, and I have competition, of course, because this product, selling liquid detergent, is very competitive. Everyone does it. I started my business in November 2015 after completing my Form 4 exams. I got these skills from my home science teacher, and I decided to start this business because I saw the need of this liquid detergent, and in our community, it's not everyone that can afford those liquid detergents from a supermarket because they are very expensive. So I came up with an idea of making this local liquid detergent on a very affordable price for everyone to get. My competitive analysis, as you can see, I have one competitor where we stay. His strength is that he's easily accessible. Since I'm in school, I'm not that much accessible, but I always avail myself. My strength is that my products are affordable. They have variety of colors, as you can see. The green one is meant for washing your utensils. It has a lemon perfume. The blue one is meant for washing your clothes. It has a jasmine perfume, which freshens up your clothes. The pink one is meant for washing your hands or washing the toilet. It has a strawberry perfume. That's how I advertise my products. That's the snapshot of my Facebook page, a screenshot of my Facebook page. Operational plan, currently I've not employed anyone. I operate my business from Aga Khan. I do the preparing, packaging, and everything.
Wise men always say that everyone has an ability that can change the world, given an opportunity to be who they are. Well, as you have seen, KPA is simply giving these learners an opportunity to bring out their natural abilities. ELIMU takes a short break, but stay with us. We are coming back with more.